should be throwing the bash. I need a woman who'll treat me right. I need a woman who love to squeeze me tight. I need a woman. I need a woman tonight. I need a woman I can call my own. She got the love the blues and she'll buy me home. She'll tie me up at night and make me say when the sun comes up we'll do it all again. I need a woman who love to squeeze me tight. I need a woman who wanna treat me right. I need a woman. I need a woman tonight. Well, my days are numbered and I'll tell you why. All the pretty girls keep walking on by, looking and smiling and winking at me. I got a woman who won't let me be. I need a woman who will squeeze me tight. I need a woman who will treat me right. All right, all right, all right. All right, all right, all right. All right, all right. Oh, what now? Hello, hello. We're live, we are. Hello. How's everybody doing? Just getting started. Let's fix the hair. There you go. Pretty good, pretty good. Got a bowl, got some water, and got a plan to do a show. So here we are, man. Let's go into it. Hope everybody's doing all right. All right. Everyone is uptight, out of sight. All right. All right. Got some silly stuff we'll warm up with. We'll get into our normal social justice warrior bashing. And but we're not going to do shit until we get some people in the room. So we'll just kind of hang here. What do we feel like checking out? Let's check out something while we're waiting. Let's see. See what's going on in the Twitterverse here. The search for Attorney General. I'm just trying to find a video or something. Oh, here, let's see what Putin thinks.
16-го. Я всех
Yeah, this is Putin.
повторить это еще раз. Напомню только, что вот в 2016-м я всех... Есть возражения? У вас побольше?
Допустим, Германия 5,5 миллиона тонн в год производит свинины, из них почти 3 миллиона на экспорт во все страны. И прежде всего Китай, Индонезия, части Япония, Корея и так далее. Поэтому, конечно, нам ни в коем случае нельзя останавливаться и по свинине. Нам нужно наращивать объемы. И, понятно, и на Дальнем Востоке, вы знаете, комплексы строятся серьезные. Хорошо. Южная Корея. А рост производства – это результат увеличения… Какая разница?
Wow.
Мы с вами сегодня собрались в Воронежской области. Повторить это еще раз. Напомню только, что вот в 2000...
Shredding him. Wow. Let's see here. Where's my fucking... All right. I wanted the... riveting. Listen to science. What's this? Breitbart News. Oh boy. Tulane to offer feminism after Trumplandia course in spring. Boy, this is new social justice warrior news. All right, I'll just add this to the docket of social justice nonsense we were going to talk about anyway. You got so much. There's no shortage of woke news. The problem is deciding which story to cover. That's fine. I was hoping that there would be some kind of nice place for a sketch. I was hoping I could find a video or something for us to watch. Aramate, least the fleshy part of the thigh. I don't remember that episode. Why are Aaron Matei and Ron Placone debating The Sopranos right now? It's just a weird thing. We all got banned for posting true information about Hunter Biden during the election. Just retweeting stuff. Just retweeting. Man, I've got this sinking feeling. Like, I feel okay when I take an inventory of myself. I'm like, you feel fine, dude. But for some reason, I have this feeling like there's something lurking, like I'm going to get sick. I think with just so many people sick all the fucking around me, I'm just like, I've gotten a little paranoid. Let's see
What is going on over here? All right. Package thieves. All right. Just getting started, my friends. Just getting warmed up. From Tyra Banks to Fran Drescher to Drew Barrymore. What a star-led talk show would actually work. They always think, everybody thinks things are easy until they do them. You know what I mean? Like they think, oh, you know, a talk show. I could do that. Any asshole could do that. And then they try to do it and they fail. Oh, stand-up comedy? You just stand up there and talk? I could do that. And they fail at that. Everything's hard. There's nothing in this world is easy to do, not if you want to do it well. I just better not be getting sick. Let's see. They're still fighting over the election. Trump says he's not going to leave, which is what Bill Maher's been saying for like 3 years. New space race with the U.S. Oh, my fucking nose is running. Where is everybody? Hello, hello, hello. All right. I'm all fidgety tonight. I just drank a bunch of coffee. Maybe that's why I feel weird. I didn't know fucking China brought fresh moon rocks back to Earth. When did they go to the moon? Oh, it's from the New York Times. Fuck it. They're not gonna let us behind the paywall. Vladimir Putin received an update. Imagine getting roasted by Putin. Got Zoe. I was really just looking for a video. What is this? Antifa only week of the what? All right, I don't know what Dante's talking about. Many kids are still locked up at home. No shit. Lizzie McGuire, don't give a fuck. Top Trump aide leaving the White House. Conservative victim card. Okay. Really just wanted the fun video. I guess I should have gone to YouTube for that. I just thought at least I'd find like a trending video on Twitter. All right, we're going to find something to fuck around with. When some people come in here, we'll start covering some stories. Let's see, we've got Bobby Fischer versus Spassky. Steve Miserak versus Toby Sweet. Oh, wow. This is pretty crazy. I played Toby Sweet many, many times. This is pretty cool. I found a video of Steve Miserak playing Toby Sweet, the Taco Bell Seniors 9-ball. Wow. Yeah, this was 96. I was playing Toby in the early 90s, like from like 90 to 93, thereabouts. The Taco Bell Senior 9-ball champ. Man, Toby Sweet was still a killer pool player in 1996. I'm sure Steve Miserak was too. Wow, I didn't even know this existed. This is pretty cool. Grady Matthews. All right, let's get to it, man. Fast forward here. Lagging for the break. The Miz. I met Steve Mizrak once. It's pretty cool, man. Some of the greatest pool players are so fat. Although Toby Sweet's complete opposite. Look at these two guys. Toby was a little guy. He looked like he had the physique of a burglar. Burglars are always, small, wiry guys like that. But all right, let's take a look here. Toby Sweet taking a break here. Yeah, that's what you want. You want Toby Sweet to have the fucking break. So there was a weekly tournament at a place called Hollywood Billiards that I played at every week, and Toby Sweet played in it almost every week. And I would draw him sometimes, and I didn't mind. I knew nothing. I wasn't gonna fucking get to the next round, but I never cared. I just liked watching him play. I'm like, I get to play with Toby fucking Sweet. It's pretty awesome. There's no way he doesn't get out here. Shit, I'd get out here. But that's the whole point. He would break and run, and I would just sit there. And then if he couldn't break and run, he would push out. And then I had no shot. And then he would take ball in hand and run the table. And I forget what the first level of that tournament, it was, oh God, it was probably a race to 3 or something like that. A race to 5. I don't remember what it was. But, oh wow, I'm surprised he left himself in that spot there. Again, he's a little bit older at this point. This is the senior 9-ball champion. He'll still make it. But I'm just surprised he did that to himself. Hit a little too hard. But look at that. Beautiful. And he would, there's a handicap system, right? So let's say my rating was a 3 and Toby was a 9. I forget what the actual ratings were. I think that's what it was, actually. That meant he had to win 9 games before I won 3 games. It was something like that. But we didn't play 9 games. How did this fucking work? It's so many years ago. I guess it was if he was a 9 and I was a 3, he had to win 6 more games than I did, maybe. So let's say it was a race to 9. I guess I would start at 3, and he'd have to win. I'd have a head start. I don't know. I'd have to ask my buddy Miguel. It's been too long. Toby must not have a sweet tooth. Wow. Whew. We're both just getting warmed up, Lizzie. I won't give you the car crash. Yeah, that. I told you he'd get out. There's no way he wouldn't. He was so good. And this is what happened. I would play him, and I would just rack for him, just like Steve Mizrak, great pool player. And you're gonna just watch Steve Mizrak is just gonna rack for Toby Sweet. I've never seen this, but I already know that I can't imagine that Steve Mizrak beats Toby Sweet in this. I'm sure he must have beaten him a game here or there, but over the long run, I'm sure Toby dominated Mizrak. I'm going to play your stinger in a second. I just want to watch Toby's break. Just killing a little time here, waiting for people to show up. Look at that 2-ball right in the side pocket. Cue ball in the center of the table. And let's see, the video, all stuttering and shit. Sorry about that. I just want to see this. Look at that. No real trouble here. Got the 2 and the 9. I don't know, this thing. Yeah, no, really not really a problem on this table. Was that the isn't that the 2-ball down there? I guess not. Oh no, the 2 went in the side. That's right. Hard to tell. So that's the 3-ball there. I know that. But with the quality of the video and the fact that it's stuttering. So that's the 4-ball. Yeah, the 2 went in on the break, right? So that's the 4-ball there. That's what I meant to say when I said there's only trouble is the 4 and the 2 and the 9. I meant to say 4 and the 9. But look at that. My God. Should have seen him play in person, man. It was just when it's like when people say, wow, just watching you spread a deck of cards between your hands, it just looks different, it's just a different level. And, when you see somebody do something that they've done a billion times and they do it really well, it just looks different. Like, when you go to see a Major League Baseball game and they're just playing catch, from like 9 miles away and the ball is just flying, like effortlessly flying a million miles through the air and they're just back and forth. You see a guy like this play pool in person and just the touch, the stroke of the cue, the way it hits the balls. Yes. So this is 2 games in a row, and Mizrak hasn't done anything yet except rack for Toby. Here comes Steve Mizrak again. He's doing that's what makes me feel good. I got to play Toby Sweet, and I did the same exact thing as Steve Mizrak is doing. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah. Oh, he's arguably the greatest that ever lived, Lizzie. I mean, one of the greatest. Who can ever say at this level? The guy he's playing, Steve Mizrak, was an amazing player. Obviously, Efren Reyes is usually considered the all-time greatest. But a lot of people who know will also say Toby Sweet. So every fucking time he's made something in on the break. And so it's like, what do you do if you never get to shoot? Steve ain't called Miza rack for nothing. That was pretty good. That was pretty good, Lizzie. Do you know who Steve Mizrak was by any chance? I know you probably don't. But I mean, like, were you aware of him before I just showed him to you racking? Look at this. Look at this. So Mizrak's going to finally get to shoot. Okay, so Steve Mizrak was a great pool player, but he, and I believe he may have been a consultant on The Color of Money, but beyond being a pool player, what he was most famous for was, wow, he hit that really hard. All right, you got lucky on that. I don't know why you hit that so fucking hard. But he did a series of commercials for, I think it was Budweiser. It was definitely a beer commercial. I could show it to you. And they were really funny. He did these really funny beer commercials. There's a great carom right there. It's just he's making this all a lot harder on himself than he needed to. Again, he's was a great player, but all right, now he's back. He's got a problem with that on the rail there with that looks like the 5 and the 7. So that's an issue. Yeah, that's why they're zooming in on it. I was a fairly look at that. Beautiful. Oh. Yeah, okay, worked out. Nicely done. That was a beautiful shot. Again, Mizrak's no fucking joke. It's just, if you never get to shoot, look at that. Beautiful speed. So anyway, maybe we'll look at the old Steve Mizrak Bud commercial. But they were funny. It's been so many years since I've seen it. But that was kind of what made him really famous. Look at that. Oh my God. Oh, perfect. He almost made that harder to shoot because it's almost easier if you had a little space. Look at that. Oh, that's really nice. Oh man. So let's see if, all right. So I'll try to find the beer commercial too, but we're going to at least let's at least watch him break and see what happens. But let's see. And real quick, I got to welcome to the show. Man, I really hope I'm not getting sick. I told you I did a gig. Really shouldn't have been doing, man, but I needed the money. And if I get the Rona, it's going to be from that gig. So I'm fucking a little skeeved out.
The wheel in the sky keeps on turning.
Welcome to the show, Lizzie. All right. The Miz, they used to call him The Miz. He had a good break right there, although he's got no shot on that one. But he pocketed the ball, so at least he can push out or play safe. He can see the one ball, but doesn't have, I mean, I guess he's, since this is not like it's like the senior championship shit, these guys are probably going to take some chances and do some things that they maybe wouldn't do for like a big money game or something. But we'll see. Let's see what happens here. So he went ahead and played safe there. Problem is, can Toby make that 1 into the 8? What's he got? It's hard, on the camera, sometimes it's really hard to see how much space they have. Is he looking at jumping that ball? See, yeah, I see he's looking at that 1 into the 8. He wants to make that combination there. He's jacking up his cue. It's a jump shot. Fucking video stuttered. Yeah, I want to see that. Yeah, look at that. Jump shot, but he missed it. Now the Miz. All right, enough of this. Let me show you what I'm talking about, though, with the, I want to watch this later. Let me show you what I'm talking about with Steve Mizrak and the commercial. I'm helping you with your Steve Mizzarini. Not Steve. It was Miller Lite, not Budweiser. All right, so here's a. Here, we'll show you this. But this
You don't want to get filled up.
This is what like how everybody knew the guy was from this.
When you shoot a lot of pool and bars, you want to stay fast and loose. And you don't want to get filled up. That's why I drink light beer from Miller. It's got a third less calories than their regular beer, and it's less filling. Plus the taste is great. And even though a lot of people don't think pool is strenuous, let me tell you something. You can work up a real good thirst, even when you're just showing off.
Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer, and less.
There you go. So, yeah, that's here. Let's find another one. But these commercials were super popular.
When you shoot a lot of pool and bars, you want to stay fast and loose. And you don't want to get filled up. That's
the
why
same
I drink
one.
light beer from Miller.
Great
Got a
trick
third
shot,
less
though.
calories than their regular.
Let's see. Is there? He's on Letterman. I feel like he had other. I thought there was more than one of those. Let's see. Steve Mizrak for Miller. What is this?
I make one trick shot in a light beer commercial, and everybody thinks they know how to shoot pool. So these guys decided to take me on to shoot a little pool and drink a little light beer from Miller. Because it's less filling.
Tastes great!
Less filling.
Let's quit talking and start chalking. You break, Bubba. Sure, I haven't broken anything all day. Hey, Mickey, what happened? It's a mystery to me. You show him, Rodney. Yeah, all right.
You guys got me all wrong. I think light tastes great, too. But when you're shooting pool, the only thing you want to get filled up is the bottom. 14 6 ball combination.
Steve, how do you do that?
Practice, practice, practice.
Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer, and less.
There you go. Rodney Dangerfield making an appearance. I don't know who else was in that. I just don't know a lot of those people. But let's see. There's people in the comments that'll tell us. R.I.P. Paul Horning. He's the one who asked, "How do you do it?" Rodney Dangerfield. A lot of dead people in this. Marv Thornberry. I don't know who else that was. Bunch of famous people in that. There you go, my friends. So yeah, super famous pool player, Lizzie. More famous than good, but still very good. I could see that. Michael Rappaport, yeah. He'd have to, if Michael Rappaport were to play like Mizrak in a documentary, he'd have to be a lot fatter. But hey, man, I never get tired of movies or stories about gamblers or con men. I love that shit. I mentioned the other night I watched for the first time actually in full The Sting. What a great fucking movie! Robert Redford and Paul Newman. Let's get the script rolling. Yeah, someone. I don't know why people don't just constantly make movies about gambling and hustling and con men. Who gets to, there's so many things, right? You could do a poker movie, you could do a craps movie. You ever seen God, there Mike, are both of these movies? There was Owning Mahoney, I think, was a gambling movie, and Hard Eight. I think Owning Mahoney was a gambling movie. Let me take a look. There was this movie about with Philip Seymour Hoffman. Yeah, that was it. Owning Mahoney, Philip Seymour Hoffman, and that's a great movie. It's about him being a compulsive gambler. That's a good one. And Hard Eight. What was Hard Eight? Let's see. Sometimes I just pull things out of my ass, and I don't even know how I get it. Let's see. A family owned an opera. Hard Eight film. Let's see. Paul P.T. Anderson. I like P.T. Anderson. Sydney, senior gambler. Da, 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 da. Teaches him how to gamble and survive. Yeah. Anyway, I think I liked it. I don't really. I'd have to rewatch it. It'd be like new to me. Probably Owning Mahoney and Hard Eight. They were both good. I'll tell you a great gambling movie that I should rewatch all these because I saw a lot of these only once. 21. You know, it's funny. I guess I should just go ahead and watch 21. The reason I haven't is I used to be in that world quite a bit. And when that movie first came out, everybody I know that was also in that world told me how bad it was. So I just never watched it, because it wasn't like most things. They just fuck it all up by somehow they think that they're going to make things better by making shit up. They did it with, they do it with almost every movie. Unless the person that has, like J.K. Rowling, she kind of put her foot down and said, look, I get script approval. Basically, the movie's got to look like the books. And she wouldn't budge on that. And that's great when that happens. But so many times they take liberties like Foxcatcher and it's just so many movies where it's like, oh, why didn't you just tell us how it really happened? Because the real story is so much more interesting. So the whole MIT card counting thing was a more interesting story. The real story. I think the book I've heard is very good, but I should watch the movie. Maybe I'll watch that tonight just to finally say I watched it, because, and maybe I have such low expectations I'll actually like it. Like people have said Solo, a Star Wars story, is super woke, and you know how anti woke I am. I didn't know that that was the accusation. I just knew that everybody said Solo sucked. I got all caught up in The Mandalorian, and I just wanted to watch something Star Wars. I'm like, well, I haven't watched Solo, and I watched it. I enjoyed it, and it's probably because I had really low expectations. And then after the fact, I heard people saying that it was really woke, and I'm like, I'm sensitive to that, and I didn't really notice it being woke. Anyway, so Well, I'm sure the MIT, the 21 thing, it might be an entertaining movie, just maybe not historically accurate, and there might be a lot of just bullshit in it that, as somebody that understands that world, would be turned off by. So, anyway, so I'll tell you, I gotta take a quick break here, but real quick, two great movies with gambling themes if you've never seen them. The Cooler and Croupier. Those two. That's a couple of fucking really good movies. All right, I'll be right back. Give me 2 shakes of a lamb's tail.
Get ready for the final chapter. Roll up and fill your cup. You better pause for this moment in time. Witness the fall of the empire, the end of the 1,000-year reign. We got no one made it, Lord, the pretty baby just in a turmoil of pain. Viva, like a smell of blood. All that falling empire. Viva, well, it's time to hand things over. Then the jewels of reluctance returned. Triggers still in position, made in charred and ragged and burned. Everybody just realize what a foolish good you've been. Look at what you've admitted to. Imagine the horrors of the sea. Viva, viva. I can smell the blood. Rejoice and baby, let your voice again. Ready for the final chapter. Go up and fill your cup. You better pause for this moment in time. Everybody just realize what a foolish good you been. Look at what you've admitted to. Imagine the horrors unseen. Viva, viva. I can smell the blood. I'm a falling empire. Viva, viva. Reluctance return. Triggers still in the position, baby. They be tried and red and burned. Everybody just realize what a foolish good you been. Look at what you've admitted to. Imagine the horrors of the scene. Viva, viva, yeah. I can smell the blood. I'm a falling empire. Viva, viva, yeah. I can smell the blood.
let's do it, my friends. Let's get into what we're supposed to be doing here. Making fun of these social justice racists. Here we go. San Francisco Chronicle. This is an article, let's see, by Jill Tucker. All right. I could never date a Jill, Zach and Jill. That would be ridiculous. Abraham Lincoln, an iconic American hero, could soon be an outcast in San Francisco. His legacy called into question and his name ripped off a high school. Yeah, see, it's funny when we said that these social justice racist warriors, these racist justice warriors, when we said that, before you know it, they're going to come for Washington and Lincoln. It started with some Confederate soldiers you didn't like and some Confederate statues, and people said, well, that's crazy. They wouldn't go after Lincoln. Well, you apparently have never been to California and dealt with a racist justice warrior. Lincoln is one of dozens of historical figures who, according to a school district renaming committee, yep, that's where your tax dollars are going, lived a life so stained with racism, oppression, or human rights violations, they do not deserve to have their name in a school building. So the debate reflects a nation in turmoil, a reckoning with a racist past that lingers today. We actually already had a reckoning with this. There was a civil rights movement. We got rid of Jim Crow laws. We installed things like affirmative action that have done more harm than good. And we were actually making a lot of progress in this direction. We were, at a point where you could say we had equal opportunity. Now, others will argue that because of varying levels of depression, they don't, of oppression rather, that they don't have equal opportunity. But that's just not true. Everybody is born with certain advantages and disadvantages, some more than others. And you would hope that the people who do well give back and help other people who could use a hand because they've been born with such a disadvantage. Maybe, I don't know, they adopt a child that nobody wanted and give that child a stellar education. That's a way you could give back to the community and society. And that's, and I think people are generally good. You can't count on, everybody to be as benevolent as that. But also you can't assume everybody's going to be as selfish as these people would have you believe. My point is, this whole these racist justice warriors, this whole social justice movement, it's based on an outcome of, they want a quality of outcome. We already have equal opportunity. That doesn't mean that everybody starts at the same place. Everybody's got their own battles to fight. But what it does mean is that that no one's going to be denied an opportunity based on their race or gender or sexual preference. And that we have. Now, have we eliminated bias in people altogether? No. Of course, everybody's going to have inherent bias. As a matter of fact, there's nobody less tolerant than these social justice warrior jerk-offs. They're the most intolerant people you'll ever meet. That's why I've waged a war with them. Anyway, the debate reflects a nation in turmoil, a reckoning with a racist past that lingers today. Well, it's lingering today because of these people making everything about race and gender and people's proclivities in the bedroom, toppling Confederate statues from town squares and eliminating a large number of Robert E. Lee street signs. Uprooting the problematic names and symbols that currently clutter buildings, streets throughout the city is a worthy endeavor, said Jeremiah Jeffries, a chairman of the renaming committee and a first grade teacher in San Francisco. Oh boy. He's the chairman of the renaming committee. Talk about a guy that's never been invited to any place fun ever. Hey guys, let's have a party. Should we invite everybody? Yeah, almost. Could you not tell Jeremiah? What's wrong with Jeremiah? Nice enough guy. Yeah, but all he does is complain about how people think it's weird. He's a first grade teacher, and everybody assumes he's a pedophile. And he's like, just because I'm a first grade teacher doesn't mean I'm a pedophile. And you know how he's just constantly being a victim. And it's like, yeah, that's a good point. He is kind of a nudge. Yeah, and besides, we want to watch a good comedy tonight. If he's there, any comedy we put on, he's gonna just constantly talk about how it's racist and misogynistic, and you just yeah, good point. You know what? Fuck that guy. All right, so this guy stopped getting invited to things, so he started volunteering for things like the renaming committee. The only good can come from the public being reflective and intentional about the power of our words, names, and rhetoric within our public institutions. No, you dipshit. What would be better is if people could understand intention and context and maybe take a joke. But the problem is, you could never take a joke, could you? Could you, Jeremiah? When everybody goofed on you as a kid, when everybody was like, there's Jeremiah. He's wearing slacks again. He's only third grader who wears slacks and a bow tie. He's like a little miniature Malcolm X. What do you think? You think Jeremiah's a black guy or a white guy? When I first read this, in my head, I'm thinking gay white guy. But then I thought Jeremiah, maybe gay Latino guy. But Jeremiah Jeffries, then I think maybe he's like a Quaker. So now I picture a white guy with a big beard, but he's like 21 when he looks like it's like 62. I don't know. I get a lot of different images with this guy's name. I don't like him though. I don't like him. I don't like him because he's in charge of a ridiculous organization, or I should say ridiculous branch of a bureaucracy that wants to just keep growing and growing. All right. History's not always clear. People are complicated. Heroism and bravery can be obscured by beliefs and behaviors deemed abhorrent when viewed through a modern lens. Yeah, you know what? What I did, I look at what I did yesterday and I find it abhorrent. If you're trying to, my goal is always to just be incrementally better every day. That's it. I don't compete with anybody else, just myself. I reflect and I go, well, geez, Zach, you sure did curse a lot more than you needed to in that video. And then I started thinking about how when there's certain people watching my live stream, I immediately step up my game and I'm funnier, more articulate. I work at the height of my intelligence. I think a little bit more before I say what I'm going to say. And I'm like, that's why I like doing it live. And I think I got to pretend that those people are in the room all the time. It'll make my show better. Most times I like to but I don't want to always do that. Sometimes I like to go in a la la land where you're just seeing stream of consciousness, and it's just sophomoric stream of consciousness. And it's like, holy fuck, is this guy really 46? I mean, he does look good, but what the fuck is wrong with his brain? Is he half a retard? You know what I'm saying? I like to mix it up. Point being, I'm always striving. I find the yesterday me an embarrassment, because assuming I've improved the following day, and I try every day, incremental improvement, but over the long haul, it's kind of like playing poker, right? You could have several losing sessions in a row, but at the end of the year, if you played, however many hours you play, let's say you played 1,000 hours that year, did you win at the end? If you kept records at the end of the year, did you win? Well, then good. That was a good year. And at the end of the year, did you win more than you did the year before? Did you win more in 2019 than you did in 2018? If you did, even if it's $20 more, you improved. So that's my whole point, is this idea that, you could look back at things and not find trouble. Of course, you're going to find trouble. And that's a good thing. It means we're evolving. Was Lincoln one of the greatest presidents of all time? Yes. Who ended the country's great shame? Yes. Or a whitewashed historic character? No. With a questionable record related to Indians not worthy of memorials, school names, and street signs? No. Critics have called the efforts to rename 44 school sites, a full third of the district schools, amateur, citing the committee's justifications pulled from Wikipedia or selective news sources rather than historical records or comprehensive research, and a waste of time amid a pandemic. Well, this is what happens when you give them an inch. They take 4 feet of cock and turn it into 12 feet of vagina. These people want everything to be gay and feminine and and not fun and humorless. That's what the racist justice warriors want. It's also received significant support from some communities whose children wear sweatshirts emblazoned with the names of former slave owners. What? When the committee released 44 school sites to be renamed, many made sense. Thomas Jefferson and James Monroe were slave owners. Who gives a fuck? So what? It was a different time. You know what? In our lifetime, we've had this ridiculous war on drugs that's been responsible for millions of deaths and so many destroyed lives and such a waste of money and the fuel for the militarization of police and as an excuse to erode our rights, our civil liberties. But no, you're going to worry about what happened then. What about what's going on now? It was a different time. This war on drugs is coming to an end, and it's going to be looked back in history like, what was wrong with these idiots? It was so obvious that prohibition doesn't work and that they created a black market and guns went south and drugs went north. And so come on, we evolve. That's what we do. We evolve. Again, I'm ashamed of myself every minute. I'm better now than I was a minute ago. Look at me. Now I'm ashamed of myself. Oh, now I'm better again. Oh, I'm better again. Do you see how great I grow before your eyes? It's amazing, isn't it? It's amazing to watch somebody. That's what years of self-improvement books will do for you. You can actually watch the improvement just happening throughout the cast. All right. So they also said Vasco Nunez Balboa was a murderous conquistador. Oh, brother. At least a few names on the list raised eyebrows, including El Dorado, literally translated to City of Gold, and Dianne Feinstein, who landed on the list because as a mayor in the 80s, she replaced a vandalized Confederate flag in front of City Hall. When are they going to stand up? I'm standing up against this. If you enjoy that I'm standing up against this, do me a favor. Subscribe to the channel. Hit the thumbs up button. Share my videos. Join my fan club at zachwaldman.com/fans. I am standing up against this, and I'm a nobody. The more you support me, maybe I could become somebody, and I will give back by never caving in to this political correctness, never caving into this cult of wokeness, and I will fight it to the best of my ability. But anyway, here we go. The most controversial on the list was Lincoln, Honest Abe, the great emancipator. His inclusion exemplifies the struggle in San Francisco and across the country to balance the good and the bad, in this case, the hero in the 19th century man with many faults. I don't know that it's across the country. It seems to be in woke, insanely leftist cities, not democratic, but leftist. It's a difference. And in pockets of the country that are somehow falling prey to this mind virus. It's not easy to sort worth from waste, say historians, as well as those hurt by the legacy of those complicated figures. I have so many reactions in the sense of looking at his entire record and the fact of what Lincoln did for Africans in slavery and the Emancipation Proclamation, said Sherry Black. Is she a black woman? She worked for more than 40 years in Indian economic and community development. I like to say Indian instead of Native American just because I hope it triggers some SJWs. If Sherry's black, I wonder if her middle name is Sherry I am. I knew there was a famous comedian. I always forget. God, everybody knows this guy. But it was he was a black guy, and his name was something White, and he'd go. People would say, "What's your middle name?" Ain't but God, I know that. I might even have met the guy. Anyway, I think he still does stand up. I don't know. I can't remember his name all of a sudden. His first name. Anyway, Sherry Black. Sherry, I don't know if she's black or not, who worked for more than 40 years in Indian economic and community development. Considering the time period, it's so difficult to understand how things were at the time. How do you make these decisions? We already made these decisions. We already built the monument. We already named the schools. There was a reason for it. We already made the decision. Now you want to go back and uh, just rewrite. You just want to nitpick everything. That's what critical race theory teaches, is to find racism in everything. To many, Lincoln was one of the country's greatest presidents, of course, the great emancipator, a beloved historic figure, as well as a political mentor to his successors, including Barack Obama. Well, I wouldn't throw that in there. I mean, he did, you know, murder lots and lots of innocent people, continue to ridiculous wars, start the child family separation policy and putting kids in cages, even though Trump got blamed for it. He also prosecuted Snowden and Manning and Assange and tortured Chelsea Manning. And he also kicked several million, was it 5.1 million families, not people, but families out of their homes, and bailed out big banks during the mortgage crisis. So he's, I voted for him, and I cried when he was sworn in, and now I'm embarrassed that I ever voted for him. What a garbage president he turned out to be. Anyway, um, he used the Lincoln Bible for his inauguration. I'm surprised it didn't burst in flames. Yet the renaming of Lincoln High School was a slam dunk for the committee, which didn't even discuss it, according to video of the meetings. The members of the committee appointed by the school board deemed whether a person's actions or beliefs met the criteria for renaming and moved on. The committee's spreadsheet with notes on their research listed the federal treatment of Indians during his administration as the reason. The discussion for Lincoln centered around his treatment of First Nation peoples, Indians, because that was offered first, Jeffries said. Who was this, Jim Jeffries? Once he met criteria in that way, we did not belabor the point. Is it true Jim Jeffries went woke? I'm a big Jim Jeffries fan, and my buddy Sully even is friends with him. I've never met him, funny enough, but I heard he went woke. Is that true? Let me know. I have no idea if that's true or not. Regardless of the pop culture myths of Lincoln and his motivations, the Civil War was not fought over slavery or the liberation of black people, he said. The history of Lincoln and Indians is complicated, not nearly as well known as that of the Civil War and slavery. He said Lincoln, like the presidents before him and most after, did not show through policy or rhetoric that Black lives matter to them outside of human capital and as casualties of wealth building. Others disagree. He saved the country from dividing and ruin, said Harold Holzer, a Lincoln scholar and director of Hunter College's Roosevelt House Public Policy Institute. Jesus, he has to write that all the time when he tells people where he's from. He should be honored for it. Lincoln's involvement with the Indians is even trickier to unravel. Lincoln's administration supported the Homestead Act of 1862 and the Transcontinental Railroad, which led to the loss of indigenous peoples' land. We did come over here. This is a different time period. We came over here to kick ass, take names, and build a country. And this idea that I think people think Indians were all these people that were like super peaceful, and we didn't, shouldn't have ever shown up here at all. And they were all getting along, and they weren't going to build anything because they lived off the land and they just ate peyote. And that's not what was going on. There was a whole bunch of different Indian tribes, and they did horrible shit. They raped and pillaged and kidnapped, and they did long before we got here. They were warring with each other. All we did was come in and join the war and show them how it's done. Sorry, we're better at conquering than they were, than they were at defending. Sorry, we're better at colonizing. Oh, wow. But that's just what we're good at. And we won, they lost. And you know what? That's what happens when you lose a war. You end up like, it sucks, man. That's sorry. Anyway, after we kicked some ass and took some names, Lincoln himself largely delegated the sometime bloody response to Indian conflicts while focusing on the Civil War, according to historians. But Lincoln, whose grandfather was killed by an Indian, oversaw the hanging of 38 indigenous warriors after a Santee Sioux uprising in Minnesota, but only after he personally reviewed the legal cases against the 303 men sentenced to death. He saved the lives of 265 indigenous men. Lincoln, historians say, was focused on the Civil War, therefore did little to change policies related to Native Americans, but had planned to. Yeah, how much is this guy supposed to do at one time? It's like, you can't really multitask people. It's like, sorry, got my hands full here trying to save the Republic, trying to not have us split into two countries and look like some half-assed European, kind of situation. End up with, 40 countries over here. Sorry, a little busy at the moment. Jesus, back off. I love how critical people are of Lincoln, people who have never done anything except taken a gender studies class and got a C in it and then published papers and walk around like they're intellectuals. Ugh. I love people. It's like people who make fun of Ringo Starr. They're like, oh, yeah, the Beatles, but Ringo was a joke. He was a Beatle. What have you done? Have you ever done anything as good as Ringo wakes up every morning with a life a million times better than yours? I love it. Everybody's a critic. They don't ever get in the game. They don't ever stand here and fight. They don't plant their flag and go to war. Pussies. Bunch of pussies. Not you guys watching this video, unless you're one of these racist justice warriors, in which case, eat a dick. It's so fun to trigger you guys. All right. If we get through the war and I live, the Indian system will be reformed. He never got the chance. Yeah. Maybe things would have been different. He hadn't gotten shot in the head at the theater. He was more progressive than most people, Holzer said. There was pretty rampant hostility toward Indians, and I think Lincoln rose above it. Nobody's going to pass 21st century mores if you're looking at the 18th and 19th centuries. Lincoln's legacy is complicated, Black said. He could have sentenced all 303 warriors to death, she said, but he recognized they weren't treated appropriately according to the legal system. Black wondered, does the good outweigh the bad? I could come down on either side. I wonder, Black, what the fuck have you ever done that anybody gives a shit about? I could name 20 porn stars that have contributed more to society than you. For the remaining committee, being a porn star, you're actually making the world a better place. I think porn stars are some of the most undervalued people in society. What do you think of that? Porn stars suck cock for money. And politicians take money to get their cocks sucked and tell everybody in the country to suck their cocks. For the renaming committee, this wasn't a valid question. One decision that meant the criteria was enough. We asked ourselves, did the name under consideration meet one or more of our criteria? If that name met criteria, they were put on the list, Jeffrey said. That's how Feinstein landed on it. On a local level, Dianne Feinstein chose to fly a flag that is the iconography. By the way, she also has two N's in Diane. That's a reason to not like her. But anyway, she chose to fly a flag that is the iconography, it's a fun word, of domestic terrorism, racism, white avarice, and inhumanity towards Black and indigenous people at the City Hall. Jeffrey said she's one of the few living examples on her list. She still has time to dedicate the rest of her life to the upliftment of Black, First Nations, and other people of color. She hasn't thus far, so her apology simply wasn't convincing. So she hasn't done enough. At the same time, labor leader Cesar Chavez didn't make the list, despite his feelings toward undocumented immigrants, who he called wetbacks and other derogatory names. He encouraged his supporters to report them to the authorities for deportation. Why are people so against deporting people who are here illegally? It's right in the word. They're here illegally. Shouldn't you deport them if they're not supposed to be here? United Farm Workers members would form wet lines at the border and beat those crossing, believing they'd be strike breakers, according to the biographer Miriam Powell. Jeffries said no one on the committee offered evidence that Chavez met the criteria. I'm surprised that we don't have these people. They probably want us to start naming streets after Che Guevara. we think Abraham Lincoln High School. Instead of Lincoln High, we're thinking Karl Marx High. I think that would be better. These fucking scumbags. Anyway, he didn't say whether anyone on the committee looked for any evidence about Cesar Chavez. We did not discuss his life except to say he did not meet criteria. The committee is expected to formally recommend renaming the 44 school sites in January, which also include an alternative name chosen by Jeffries and other members. School communities have an opportunity to suggest a new name this month. Oh boy. Can you imagine what the school communities are going to come up with? How about the tigers? Well, I don't know. Some people hunt tigers, and I don't like that. That's a good point. And also, a tiger could be like, hey, tiger, it could be kind of dirty. Yeah, that's true. We wouldn't want to be dirty. Oh man, could you imagine the committees trying to come up with these names? I have a feeling we're gonna have a lot of intersectional type, maybe RuPaul Avenue, just a lot of gay streets, a lot of that kind of stuff. Parent Alita Fisher is looking forward to seeing the name change at her school, saying many Denman middle school families have long wanted another moniker on the building. James Denman might have been the first San Francisco superintendent, but he was also an abject racist, Fisher said at the November school board meeting. Parent Matt Price appreciates the idea, but wishes the district would wait until the school communities have the energy and time for such decisions. What I wish these people would do instead is I wish they would mock the people. In other words, if they find out that this guy was honored because he was the first superintendent, but he was an abject racist, they should treat it like I've seen like people have a funny Mao wristwatch. And it's like making fun of Mao. It's not like it's a wacky Mao wristwatch. They're lampooning him. How about they have like a day once a year where they lampoon the guy the school was named after and teach them something about satire and humor. Teach them how to communicate how they feel about something through humor and satire or some other expression as opposed to just canceling it. Oh, I don't like it, so get rid of it. I don't want to see it. See no evil, speak no evil, hear no evil, right? Anyway, Matt Price says he wishes the district would wait until they have the energy and time for the decisions. The move, in light of the disastrous year this has been, feels terribly disrespectful to the parents who are really struggling right now, said Price. I agree with him. Whose third grade son attends McCoppin Elementary, which is also on the list. It's a well-meaning exercise. I'm certainly not opposed, but it's very, very badly timed. The school board's expected to vote on the recommendation early next year. In the meantime, Jeffries urged the public to do their own research, particularly on Lincoln. There's a lot of scholarship out there. He said, I encourage everyone to seek it out, read. Wow. Well, if you think that Abraham Lincoln should be banned, and you think he was a bad guy, well, I say take a look in the mirror and ask yourself how you'll be judged in the future. And I bet it won't be good. I bet it won't be good. Well, let me know what you think. Does anybody think that these social justice warriors are anything but a religion of racism, and that the whole thing is just a mind virus? Anybody disagree with me there? I'm saying it right now. Lincoln was a hero. These people are nuts. All right. So there you go. What's going on? We got Lizzie here. Let's just say hi to her again, even though I already did. It's just fun to do.
The wheel in the sky keeps on turning.
Chat room's quiet tonight. Audience is small tonight. What's going on? For those of you who are here, man, do me a favor. Make sure you hit the thumbs up button. Last night I got a bunch of thumbs up. And if you haven't done so, subscribe to the channel. Hit the little notification bell. Choose all. You'll know when I upload a video or go live. Of course, if you want to support me, one of the best things you can do is go to ZachWaldman.com/fans. That's ZachWaldman.com/fans. If you go there, you could join my fan club, learn some easy-to-do magic tricks, bar bets, get exclusive, uncensored content, and even if you don't join the fan club, you'll find there's lots of free things you can do at ZachWaldman.com/fans to support me in a time where I can't work because everything's been shut down, locked down, and taken away. Let's see. What else we got? I got lots of... how much time I'm going to spend on this one? All right, let's do it. See if I can make it quick. That one was long. Let's see if we can go faster on this. Get a little agua. Konnichiwa. Marvel confirms Guardian of the Galaxy's Star-Lord is bisexual. In the comics, at least. Yeah, nothing wrong with being bisexual. I think it's really the best of both worlds. Marvel Comics has confirmed that Guardian of the Galaxy's Peter Quill, Star-Lord, is bisexual. The character is portrayed by Chris Pratt in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, shown in a polyamorous bisexual relationship in the latest comic book issue of the series. I love how many women I'm running into now that say they're polyamorous. I gotta say, if I didn't have a girlfriend, I was totally single, and there was a girl that I really liked, and she kind of picked me up at the bar and was like, listen, before we go any further, I just want to let you know, I'm into you, and I want to take you home to meet my boyfriend because we're into the polyamorous thing, and he trusts my taste, and I think he would like you. Why don't you come on back? We'll have a cocktail and smoke a little weed, and you could meet him, and if things click, maybe the three of us will see what happens. I'd be like, fuck yeah, man. What do I give a shit if this doesn't work out? What do I got to lose? The thing is, though, I don't know. I'm just surprised at how many women, maybe it's an LA thing. I've just run across a lot of women saying this. Well, before the shutdown, last time I worked the Magic Castle, I had seriously several women that came to my show. I'd be just hanging out. They go, hey, your show was great. Nice to meet you. And they would just, it was almost like vegans. It was one of the first things they wanted to tell me. And I had a girlfriend at the time, so I wasn't interested in anything, but it was like, hey, your show was great. So by the way, this is my boyfriend, but just so you know, we're poly. That's what they always say, we're poly. And so you never know. We both really thought you were great. So that shit happened. I was thinking, I don't know. I guess if I was single, what do I care? When I was single years ago, my thing was I never cheated on women. I told them, I don't want a girlfriend. When you're not with me, you go do whatever you want. And then when I'm on my own, I'll do whatever I want. And if you're with some other dude, that's cool. I don't care. We're not boyfriend and girlfriend. So it was almost like the same thing, right? I guess this is different because I guess they all have to. They're all getting in. I guess she wants them both at the same time. But I don't know. It seems like a good idea because there was an episode of Seinfeld like that, right? Where they figured out that each of them alone wasn't like an adequate boyfriend. So, like, wasn't it something like George and Jerry dated the same girl and they maybe only one of them dated her, but they both like worked at trying to please her because they thought what, am I crazy? Wasn't that an episode? So maybe it's a good idea. Like one guy is super fun and but he's kind of irresponsible, but he's the good looking one, doesn't really make much money, you know. And the other one is kind of a dork, but good guy, dependable, brings in the money, but isn't gonna bang her like she wants to get banged. More of a cuck, you know. And she's like, this is perfect. You know, in other words, she gets an alpha and a beta. Maybe that's a good deal. And maybe the guys are happy because the fun guy's like, finally, no one's bugging me about getting a real job. And the nerd is like, finally, I don't have to, try to get hard anymore. What's he secretly thinking anyway? After spending 12 years together, Quill enters into a polyamorous relationship with the pair. Oh, I skipped something here. With whom? Titled I Shall Make You a Star-Lord, Guardians of the Galaxy #9 sees Quill trapped for almost 150 years on a planet called Moranus. Moranus. Where he befriends two humanoid beings, a female named Aradia and a male named Moors. All right. I guess if you're on a planet for 150 years, I mean, dudes go to prison and they're like, just gay for stay, right? Because they're in prison. They're like, they got to get laid so much they just bend the dude over and just use their imagination. So you can imagine if Quill was trapped for almost 150 years, he's probably ready to bang anything. Know what I'm saying? It seems understandable. It makes sense. So, okay, after like 12 years, she finally gives in, is like, fine, I'll do you both. In the comic strip, Quill's pictured with the couple in an intimate moment before saying it's been over a decade. Time to accept the truth. More anus is my home. Your anus is my home. Thanks for accepting me, guys, he adds, which Moores replies, congratulations, Peter Quill. The you that was is over. You're newborn and ready to learn our ways. Wow, you've been recruited to the gay side. Good for you, dude. You've been hypnotized gay. You're like those dudes in Tiger King that were like, I wasn't gay, but then I met this dude and now he talked me into being gay. Weather director James Gunn will incorporate Star-Lord's bisexuality into Guardians of the Galaxy 3, which currently has no confirmed release date, remains to be seen. No confirmed release date. Yeah, well, all I know is Quill there is got a release date. Star-Lord's got a release date on this other dude's back. We'll next see Pratt's big screen rendition of the character alongside Chris Hemsworth and Natalie Portman in Thor: Love and Thunder, which will follow events at the end of Avengers Endgame. Wow. So basically, the march toward everybody being gay continues. You got to, and if you're not into it, well, then you're a homophobe and you're a horrible person. So say the racist justice warriors who are oh so tolerant and want so much diversity. You think again, it's my mantra. These people, their definition of diversity is people who look different but all think the same way. They're not tolerant if you don't agree with them. God damn, the chat room is quiet tonight. What is going on? Would somebody say something? The hell's happening tonight? What a weird night. It's a very odd night. All right, here we go. Tulane to offer feminism after Trumplandia course in spring. It's so great. It's so easy to find bad pictures of Trump. I've seen worse. You can usually these articles, they show a really bad picture, which is easy to find. Tulane University will offer a course called Feminism After Trumplandia during the spring semester. The course, which will be taught by English professor Kate Baldwin, will focus on the plight of women in a post-Trump America. The professor claims it's not a politically partisan course. What? They post-Trump America, they got the guy they wanted. They got Biden, and believe me, I think Trump is vile, so I'm happy he's on the way out. But they wanted Biden, they got him. So shouldn't things be better now? Let me make it clear. I also didn't vote for Biden. I couldn't bring myself to vote for either one of them. And whom I voted for is none of your business. It was Joe Jorgensen. I voted for Joe Jorgensen. I don't care. Come for me. According to a report by Campus Reform, Tulane University will offer a course about feminism in the age of Donald Trump during the upcoming spring semester. The course, which has been taught by Professor Kate Baldwin in the past, has been redesigned for the upcoming semester to address the inauguration of a new administration. I wish they would bring in Camille Paglia. Bring her in to talk. She's brilliant. That's a real feminist. The course description suggests that students will analyze Donald Trump's presidency in light of various hot-button social issues such as abortion, the Muslim ban, and transgenderism. When Donald Trump became the 45th president of the United States, many worried that a new era of precarity for women had begun. The defunding of Planned Parenthood, the Muslim ban, assault on pro-choice legislation, rescinding of protections for transgender students, the president's own history of sexual assault, to name only a few, all seem to present an unprecedented dystopia for women across the political spectrum. Indeed, as we anticipate the inauguration of a new administration, how can we begin to make sense of the events of his reign? So you're going to spend your course focused on the past? Wow, way to stay in the present. Despite the charged nature of the course description, Baldwin said in an interview that the course is non-political. It's not a politically partisan course, Baldwin said, and water is not wet, and air is not something you breathe, and it is more about the movement of feminism from 1950 onward and trying to chart how it was changed under the Trump administration. How about how it was changed under the social justice movement who's ruining it? Breitbart News reported in September that a former staff member at Tulane University was shot after he resisted arrest on campus. Police obtained an arrest warrant for 28-year-old Tavon Apples after he was accused of masturbating in front of a coworker at the university. Maybe he was just doing an impression of Louis C.K. Stay tuned to Breitbart News for more updates on this story. I love Louis, by the way. Big Louis C.K. fan. I really am. Well, there you go, man. So what I basically get from that article is now that Trump is about to be gone, they want to just dwell on what just happened and go, hey, everybody, let's ignore, setting goals for a more positive future. And let's not spend all of our time being in the present moment and doing what we can to make ourselves and everybody close to us in our communities better and grow and recover. Now, instead, let's just dwell on this guy that we're all so sick of talking about. And if it's really the story of feminism from the 50s until now, then why not call it that? Why not title it, Feminism, a History? from 1952 to to 2020. I guess because that wouldn't be, good marketing. So it's, I guess the title of the course is clickbait. And isn't feminism itself a political topic? So how is the course not political? Whatever. Have fun there. Enjoy your class there at Tulane. All right. Well, let's see. I did how many? We did a lot of antisocial. Okay, we got 3 solid antisocial justice warrior stories. All right, so we're gonna switch. I got enough in the tank of that. We're gonna spend the rest of the time just having some fun here. I mean, that was fun for me too, but I just mean some scattered fun. This is kind of fun. Chris Pine to star an upcoming D&D movie based on the RPG. I'm not going to go into this real close. It's just I was thinking about this. I loved Dungeons and Dragons as a kid. They went woke, and I loved the cartoon as a kid. Now, as a kid, I loved the cartoon because it's what you had. You had the Dungeons and Dragons cartoon. There's things about the cartoon that you wished were better. There was another. I think there was also a cartoon that was way better, that there was fewer episodes of. I think it might have been called Advanced Dungeons and Dragons. I can't remember. It's so long ago. I remember there was a Ghostbusters cartoon that had nothing to do at all with the Ghostbusters, and shortly thereafter, there was a cartoon that came out called The Real Ghostbusters that was exactly like a cartoon version of the movie, and that was awesome. That was an awesome cartoon. But I feel like there was more than one Dungeons and Dragons cartoon, but the one in the 80s that I used to watch with the unicorn, Uni, and it used to drive me nuts that the wizard was just kind of low level. I guess in retrospect, maybe it was good, but I don't know. It was all we had. So making a movie about it, I'm down. I want to see it. My only hope is that it's not woke. It just seems like everything is. D&D was made into a film back in 2000. I don't think I watched it because I think I heard it was just so bad. Yeah, I should watch it though. What the hell, man? I'm watching all kinds of stuff lately just for the hell of it. You know what I'm enjoying doing is just watching either classics or things I really wanted to watch, or I'm watching things that I was curious about that I have super low expectations of. And when I do that, I end up enjoying the movies because I have such low expectations. Let's see. Brian Goldner's producing for Hasbro. He has the controls of the rights of the game. So it's been in the works for years. The other one had Marlon Wayans, Tora Birch, Jeremy Irons. Prine is set to reprise his role as Steve Trevor in Wonder Woman in 1984. All right. So, I don't know. It sounds cool to me. If they've been working on it for years, as long as it doesn't go woke, sounds cool. Hey, so little Bitcoin news. Did you guys hear about this? This is Neil Strauss's Twitter thread. I didn't read it yet. I'm not going to spend a ton of time on this, but if you want $10 in free Bitcoin, go to zachwaldman.com/fans. And you'll see, if you scroll down under affiliate links, there's an affiliate link for Coinbase. If you click on that, then you and I both get $10 in Bitcoin. You got to open up an account on Coinbase, but there you go. Free $10. It just keeps going up and up. For me, I have very little money in Bitcoin, but it's fun having, like, even if you have $100 in there, which is probably about what I have. It's just fun. It's just going, oh, look at it. I don't know. It's just a fun thing. Maybe once in a while you throw $5, $10 more in there. Just kind of this like little fun thing on the side. I don't know. I would never. I mean, there's too many smart people that say it's gonna explode. This bubble's going to pop. When, none of them can say, but then there's other people that say it's going to go to $300,000. Anyway, so let's just check out what Neil Strauss said. It blew past 20K today. Most describe it as a new class of assets, which critically underplays the disruption that is blockchain. Here's my thread primer on it. It's worth understanding because some version of this is the future. Okay, cool. Let's check it out. There's a revolution in progress that has the potential to advance the internet era from adolescence to maturity, and in the process, alter nearly every major industry and government and to completely disrupt the financial sector. The engine behind this chain, she's going to explain the whole thing. All right, let's just do it anyway. It'll be fun for people that don't understand. The engine behind the change is blockchain, or more broadly, distributed ledger technology. Some are already calling this the fourth industrial revolution, as significant as the steam engine, electricity, and the microchip before it. But what is blockchain? Let's start with its incredible history, which one pioneer I met interestingly compared to immaculate conception. In '08, a person, or more likely a group of people, used the pseudonym Satoshi Nakamoto, began contributing out to the blue to a cryptography mailing list. They've been working on a new electronic cash system that's fully peer-to-peer with no trusted third party, Nakamoto wrote. The digital currency Nakamoto is developing, called Bitcoin, offered a way to make direct payments over the internet anonymously, and it was independent of not just intermediaries like banks and credit card companies, but also governments and other monetary policies. The programming challenge was how to make sure no single entity controls Bitcoin. Users can't double spend the same coin, and no one can hack it. The revolutionary solution was to not trust people, but to trust an open network of independent computers around the world instead. So Nakamoto started a peer-to-peer network where transactions had to be verified on multiple computers or nodes before being approved. This is known as consensus. This is, by the way, sort of like how a BitTorrent would work, right? You're not in the old Napster days. It was peer-to-peer. You have a song by, Foreigner, and I want it, and I'm downloading it directly from you over a network. Whereas a torrent, I want the song from Foreigner, and I get a little bit from you, and a little bit from this person, a little bit from that person, getting a little bit from all different places, and they're being put back together and verified that it's accurate, so that there's a consensus, right? That the file is been accurately reconstructed. These transactions are organized into blocks of data that are complexly encrypted and permanently linked together in chronological order. Each block contains a snapshot of all the blocks that have come before it, and this growing chain is then stored on the entire network, making it likely impossible to alter anything without getting caught. Think of it as the computer equivalent of DNA. This is blockchain, a public database of cryptographically secured permanent records stored on thousands of computers, which prevents them from being controlled, manipulated, or vulnerable to a single point of failure or single point of trust. And so far, it's working. Bitcoin's never been hacked. And this plan for Bitcoin, which Nakamoto launched a year later, were the seeds of not just a currency, but a movement. It was accessible, replicable, secure, anonymous, decentralized, transparent, and consensus-driven. It poised to change nearly everything that requires a record being kept of it, whether real estate, banking, stocks, marriages, contracts, personal ID, as well as most types of if-then agreements called a smart contract when on a blockchain. For example, this year there's been a lot of activity around DeFi, or decentralized finance projects, smart contracts providing lending, borrowing, exchange, indexing, robo-advising, and other financial services. Some say DeFi will disrupt banks like email disrupted the post office. The transparency of decentralized blockchain is also key. Imagine donating to a charity and being able to follow your funds all the way to their end use, or purchasing an item and tracing every element back to its origins to make sure it was responsibly and honestly sourced. Yeah, by the way, that's another myth about cryptocurrency is people think that you could like buy drugs or something with it and that it can't be traced. It's actually the exact opposite. The whole point of it is you know exactly where it came from. Beyond this, advocates believe this technology can help solve not just online problems like privacy, cybersecurity, and concentration of power into the hands of half a dozen big tech companies, but global problems like poverty, corruption, and financial exclusion. Gayla Benartzi of Bancor explains it thus: just as we expect a separation of church and state, we are now moving toward the possibility of a separation of bank and state. Money, how we make it and use it, may return to the domain of the people and the discretion of the individual. Most want the world to be safer, more free, more open, and more equal, with anonymity possible when desired. Decentralized blockchain is arguably the best and quickest path there. That's why the decentralization part of this matters, as does your understanding and advocacy for it. There you go. Here's a Bitcoin meme. What are you trying to tell me that I can trade my Bitcoin for millions someday? No, Neo. Huh. All right, well, there you go. A little Bitcoin news for you. My own personal interest. Again, we're just fucking around at this point. Anything you guys want to talk about, I am down, so let me know. Let's see, Dylan Radigan. Awesome. Dylan Radigan stepping up for my boy Jimmy Dore. Yep, Jimmy Dore will go down in history as the man who finally brought the U.S. out of the dark ages on healthcare and brought honor to garage-bound pot-smoking comedians everywhere. Absolutely. Look at this. Bunch of kids on bikes just shot someone with a paintball gun, and their injuries requiring fire department response. That's an assault with a deadly weapon. Well, that should not be an assault with a deadly weapon, because paintball guns are not deadly weapons. Well, it could take an eye out, buddy. Well, all right. Probably not. Last show I did before quarantine was in someone's apartment, and I joked, well, we better get used to this because this is how comedy's going to be from now on. And everyone laughed and laughed, and here we are. Yeah, don't I know it? What is going on tonight with the chat? It's ridiculously quiet, first of all. Second of all, people keep coming and going. It's a very odd night. What happened? Video shows moments after Ahmaud Arbery shooting. Clooney on Tom Cruise was yelling at people on set. Good for Tom Cruise. You know me, I love Tom Cruise. You're not going to hear me say a bad word about him. There's some new body camera footage. There's a whole article. It doesn't look like it was released. To say, if it was released, I would have already known. I'm on all those video leak police channels, all that stuff. All right, we can close that down. And boom. All right. I guess we'll screw around on Twitter a little bit. I got a few stories tonight for the Goofing on SJW, so I got what I needed. At this point, if you guys are going to be so quiet, and I don't know, maybe it's not your fault. Maybe there's something going wrong that I don't see. On my end, everything looks fine. I got a second computer here to monitor everything, and it looks like everything's fine. Would love it if you'd hit the thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so, and make sure you hit the little notification bell and choose all You'll know when I go live, when I upload a new video, that sort of thing. Blah, 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 blah. The plight of renters who can't pay and face eviction foreshadows a national crisis that's expected to grow next year. States, cities that passed eviction moratoriums grapple with next steps. Yep, we are fuckedville. What do you do when they tell you you can't work and then they won't give you any money? They don't give you enough money to survive on. Let's see. What do we got here?
Oh,
Back it up.
next weekend, it's going to be so nice, like 60, 65, like that. We could sit outside on the porch.
No, the lockdown.
Oh,
A lockdown is when you say the fuck inside, not the fuck outside. Do you know what a lockdown is? When you say the fuck inside.
we could sit outside on the porch.
The lockdown is when you stay the fuck inside, not the fuck outside.
So you plan on staying in the house till like June?
The fucking lockdown. You gotta stay the fuck inside. Not the fuck outside. What the fuck? Do you hear the news? A lockdown is not when you say the fuck outside. It should be the outdown, not the lockdown. Fucking lockdown inside, the fuck inside. Not the fuck going out to parties in the casino.
Oops, I'm all for it. Anytime a little kid is saying fuck a bunch, I'm all for it. I gotta share that one. That one's got to go on my Facebook. That was pretty fucking funny. Let's see here. Skitty bitty bop 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 bop. Oh, konnichiwa. Yeah, no kidding. All right, you guys, check out what's trending on Twitter. Trending Twitter. Retweet this tweet if you dislike obvious attempts at self-promotion. Like this tweet if you're okay with obvious attempts at self-promotion. That's funny. Thanks, Ashley. I'll let you know the next one that's not a corporate. The show at Vinny's Comedy Club is canceled tonight. The new date is January 5th. Let's see. Tiger King star Joe Exotic sues Justice Department over rejected pardon. They rejected his pardon? Did Trump try to pardon this Tiger King guy? And they rejected it? What happened here? The New York Post is hilarious, by the way. Is there anything? Let's see. Oh, yeah. Trump administration's rejection. So he tried to pardon him. The request was not presented. Oh, it was a request. Suing them over Trump administration's rejection of his it wasn't. He denies the request is not valid because he didn't present it directly to Trump himself. All right. Does anybody else think Trump might just start pardoning people left and right? Just like fucking. Like if Manson was still alive, he's like, all right, Manson, you're pardoned. Just everybody's pardoned. Guy rescued a Chihuahua. Biden campaign manager calls GOP lawmakers a bunch of fuckers. You guys want to see that? Just having some fun here. trying to have a good time. I feel like I feel like something's wrong. Is there like some breaking story I'm missing? Something is very off tonight. I feel good, but I feel like
All electric,
oh, Jesus Christ.
fully connected luxury.
Oh
The
my gosh.
iX will make new traveling
So fucking
experiences possible,
Oh my God.
and the road your favorite
Stop it.
destination.
Shut up.
It's more than driving redesigned, it's individual mobility.
Got you. Fucking. Sorry about that. Fucking awful. What a horrible. Oh, I just wanted to make it.
President-elect Joe Biden's incoming deputy chief of staff called GOP lawmakers, quote, a bunch of and said Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell is, quote, terrible, but expressed optimism that the new administration could still work with Republicans to pass legislation. In a new interview with Glamour, Jen O'Malley Dillon defended Biden from criticism from the left over his insistence that Republicans would warm to the idea of working with him once President Trump leaves office. O'Malley Dillon said, quote, the president-elect was able to connect with people over this sense of unity. In the primary, people would mock him like, you think he can work with Republicans? I'm not saying they're not a bunch of Mitch McConnell is terrible, but this sense that you couldn't wish for that, you couldn't wish for this bipartisan ideal, he rejected that.
Oh my God. What fucking. That's why I love TMZ.
You know, 7 years
Oh,
ago,
stop
shortly
it.
after the first edition of my book came out.
Stop it. I love Rising on the Hill, but the Hill's website is a goddamn nightmare. All right, let me see if here's Dylan Radigan again. There's no issue where political corporate leadership is more clearly at odds with everything else than Medicare for all. Whether it's AOC or Justin or Justina Mash, can't see from here, or anyone else holding votes to force Medicare for all would build political capital. People despise Pelosi and they love Medicare for all. All right, got to do my part and retweet. I'm going to guess that's Punky Brewster. Let's see who this is. Watch how delightful the TMZ website always is. Guess who? I think it's Punky Brewster. Who do you guys think it is? I gotta make this bigger. Oops. There we go. Oh, you got it. They don't just tell you in the article? Shit. I don't want to go through the whole thing. I'm not launching the gallery. I'm sure it would be fun, TMZ, but I don't care enough. Okay, let's take a look. This is Secret Service is trending, probably because Trump's saying he won't leave. Wow, look at this. Fed sees millions in PPP funds from international ministry. Wow. More than $8 million from accounts linked to Aslan International Ministry. Wow. Let's follow this. I don't follow the Secret Service. We should. That's cool. See what they're up to. When sociopath refuses to leave our house, the Secret Service know what to do. Yeah, it would be pretty crazy if it comes to that, of them dragging him out. I knew it was going to be trending because, yeah, Trump's refusing to leave the White House. The Secret Service will have to stand outside dropping a trail of French fries leading to a van. That's pretty funny. Oh, boy. Mar-a-Lago neighbor. What was this thing? Yeah, I see that. Why don't they want him coming back? Trump's Mar-a-Lago neighbors are taking legal action to try to force him to live elsewhere. What is that about? They wrote a letter to Palm Beach authorities and the Secret Service saying Trump had no legal right to live there full time, citing legal precedent from a 93 agreement Trump signed. According to the Post, the letter says Palm Beach authorities should promptly notify Trump he's not allowed to live at Mar-a-Lago to avoid an embarrassing situation in which a former president would be evicted. Wow, that's fucking funny. No guest is permitted to stay at the club for more than 3 non-consecutive 7-day periods during 1 year. Doesn't he have a house there? I don't understand. This is so crazy. I thought he owned a home there. People don't live there full time. It says no guest is permitted to stay at the club for more than 3 non-consecutive 7-day periods. So is it like a resort? Is it like kind of like a private resort you can only stay at so long? And he just decides to stay all the time, and they used to not enforce it, but now they're like, sorry. It's too funny. Oh, this is all going to end so weird, I'm sure. And hilarious, I'm sure. Last fiscal year, the Trump family took more trips that required Secret Service protection than an Obama family took in 7. 12 times more protected trips than Obama's. What a fucking... Well, again, Bill Maher called this for years. What else we got? Grimes is trending in California. I don't care. I don't know what the hell that is. COVID-19 and Coulter's trending. Should we bite? Let's bite. Let's see what it could be. I'm following her. Right-wing pundit Ann Coulter calls Chef Jose Andres a nut foreigner. He claps back. Oh, so she's at like having a Twitter war. That's really funny. Who are the other ones? So that's Macaulay Culkin there, right? And I think that's Ann Coulter. I don't know who that one and that one is. That's pretty fucking hilarious. Ann Coulter's a vile creature. Yeah. Some nut foreigner was just on MSNBC demanding that Biden appoint a food czar to solve the national hunger crisis. 12 federal food programs is not enough. So that's why they're flipping out. So what she's saying is, they're saying, oh, she doesn't care about starving people. What she's saying is the government keeps creating food programs that don't work. Whatever. I don't fucking know. What do I know? Stanky Trump? Why is Stanky Trump trending? That's funny. So, okay, they just decided to make it trend. Donald Trump Jr. So they just yeah, this is a goof. That's funny. I always like a good collective goof. That's fun. I don't know. What's a nickel? I don't know what a nickel is. Nicole Wallace. What? Are we really talking about the F word in any context other than the fucking people who stood by Trump as he boasted about grabbing women in the pussy smeared shithole countries, called black NFL players sons of bitches, and assaulted our democracy while ignoring COVID? What Nicole really meant to say is, I don't give a fuck about those fuckers that had a problem when Jen O'Malley said it because it was true, so fuck you and your opinionated pearl-clutching fucking ass. That's pretty funny. Gotta give that a like. Very funny. Stimulus check now is trending. Lots trending tonight. Gotta give it that. So many times when I check the trending, it's all entertainment, right? Tonight, everything's blowing up. They're close to a deal that includes $600 stimulus checks. Woohoo. $600. Big whoop. Couldn't just keep doing what you were doing. It was fucking perfect for me. I would be, every bill would be paid. I wouldn't be pissing people off on the internet trying to do a YouTube show if you had just kept that extra $600 a week you used to give us. Nope. You thought we had it too good. Other countries provided the monthly check to the people during this pandemic. America always claims to be best. The best for who? Fucking agreed. Andrew, as soon as the bill is done, it'll be time to fight for the next one to be better. Ugh. I love Andrew Yang, but Jesus, come on, man. They're always kicking the can down the road. They're always going to say the next one's going to be better. There isn't a single state where the average rent is less than $600 a month. People are being evicted, going hungry, losing their jobs. Congress wants to throw breadcrumbs at them while patting each other on the back. Yep. Exactly. McConnell to the ultra-conservative Koch network of billionaires. I don't know where we would be without you. This is why America can't have stimulus check now. The GOP works for its corporate donors. We are well into a second Gilded Age. Pity the poor who've fallen for their con. Agreed. I agree with all this shit. But the Democrats are part of it too, so don't leave them out of it. $600 direct check as a stimulus package while other countries have been providing monthly checks to their citizens. Guess we're the shithole country. Yep. Although we're not a shithole country, we still have freedom of speech for now. Until they take it away. It's pretty crazy. $1.4 billion in COVID relief went to Catholic churches to pay off sexual abuse lawsuits, and American families get $600. Yeah, sure. Why not? Let's just keep retweeting it. What are you gonna do? You may as well, right? What does this person say? Monthly bills. $460 for rent? And what fucking planet is that? All right, so this person came up with $1,650. Good luck in where I live with $1,650. You lived off of $3,000 a month before March? Jesus Christ, where do you live that you could even live off of what you used to make? $2,000 a month retroactive. That would help. Let's see here. Here's a fun info. You gotta love an infographic. Fucking, they don't care about us. They don't care. They only care about themselves and their careers. They don't care about you or me, my friends. So, what is this? So apparently this is why it's trending. Let's take a look.
Up. We were forced.
Why'd you put this music behind it?
I won't miss 2020. We all remember what March was like. Our favorite bars and restaurants closed up. We were forced to barricade ourselves in our homes. 6 million people filed for unemployment in a single week. That's almost 10 times as many jobless claims as the previous record almost 40 years ago. But then something miraculous happened. Congress showed some compassion for working people. Almost every American got a $1,200 check. Parents got a little help to help with their kids. Jobless workers got an extra $600 a week. In April and May, poverty actually fell despite the pandemic because our needs were being met. But then Congress forgot us and the help stopped.
Yep, absolutely. Everything he's saying, 1,000% agree with.
Coming. The extra unemployment assistance expired. Now, 1 in 6 Americans and 1 in 4 children are going hungry. Millions of Americans can be kicked out of their homes in the middle of winter when we're being told now is as important as ever.
And we're also risking doing work we shouldn't be doing because we have no other choice. So it's just spreading the shit more.
A time to stay in your home. It's unacceptable that Congress won't pass a bill to put money in workers' pockets to help keep so many people out of poverty. Any stimulus that doesn't direct cash relief is a spit in the face to those millions of Americans that are just trying to stay afloat. The American people need help. Do your job, Congress.
Yep. Pretty great. Music, wasn't necessary, but absolutely. All right. What else we got? All right, let's check out regular trending. Oops. Slow down. Out now. Don't care about that. Stinky Trump. Drawing with ADHD. Pick me. Real Housewives. This is regular trending. We're getting a lot more entertainment. Marco. What happened with Marco Polo? Marco loves great big hugs from Donald Trump's tiny hands. What? Defends his small hands criticism of Trump. What? What's going on here? Six-minute listen. Defends making a couple of jokes. Someone's got to stand up. Enough is enough. Yeah, well, I'm already bored, so don't worry. Don't worry about me clicking on your pop-up. I'm out. Give a fuck about Marco Rubio. Tyler Perry. So he's talking about how good he looks, midlife crisis, 51, single. Blah, diddy blah. All right, cool. Robin Williams is trending. Kobe's trending. Cameron Boyce. Zayn Malik. All right, I think Secret Service we already did. I think I'm about done. Chester Bennington. All these dead celebrities are talking about which ones impacted their lives. And my friends, with that, my voice feels like it's going. Oh, no. Tropicana is issuing an apology. Tropicana issues apology for orange juice campaign that suggests alcohol is the answer for parents. Oh, come on. No one can take a joke at all anymore. Oh, we already know that. Elise Soleil wrote this. Tropicana apologized for a star-studded social media campaign that suggested alcohol was the antidote to parenting in the pandemic. We want to apologize to anyone who's disappointed in or offended by our recent campaign. The orange juice brand tweeted on Tuesday. Oh my God, everybody's so offended all the time. The intent behind it was in no way meant to imply that alcohol is the answer or make light of the struggles of addiction. I bet this was like 12 people complained and they had to do this. It continued. While we believe we were bringing the take what take what is that hashtag supposed to be? Take AM I moment. Take a my moment. Toke a mimmoment. Anyway, to life in the right way through a message of positivity and balance mixed with a bit of levity. We hear the feedback. For some, we've missed the mark. That's right. You can't make a joke anymore. And some people, 100% of everybody has to like it. Otherwise, you have to apologize. Guess what? That joke doesn't exist. Accordingly, we're ceasing any further activity in support of the campaign. We value the comments and perspectives that have been shared, and we'll use it as a lens for evaluating future campaigns. Press release for the campaign featured Gabriel Union, Jerry O'Connell, Molly Sims, quoted the survey of 1,000 parents, 87% of whom reported parenting to so chaotic that they sometimes they just needed the moment for themselves. Nearly half say they hide in the bathroom to get alone time, and nearly all parents agree that this year, more than ever, they look for ways to create small moments of brightness in their days. It reads, Tropicana is helping parents find those moments wherever and whenever they can by creating incognito mini fridges filled with the makings for mimosas to provide moms and dads with the ultimate moment for themselves. I get it now. Take a moment. That's cute, but no. Some people got upset, so now they got to apologize. The brand encouraged customers to share their own moments on Instagram to potentially win a free mini fridge while noting, please drink responsibly in its release. My gosh, what a different world, huh? The campaign from advertising agency Kramer Kerselton Mullen Low PR included quotes from Sims. My closet's become my go-to sanctuary to catch my breath for a quick moment of brightness, a place to sometimes eat my kids' snacks, or better yet, to sip a mimosa. It's important to look after yourself while also looking after your family. Union added, my bathroom's actually become my space of serenity when mama needs a break, even if I'm just collecting my thoughts, doing my beauty or hair care routine, or scrolling through Instagram. O'Connell promoted the campaign with a video in which he escaped to his garage where an incognito mini fridge was stashed. You can't take care of your family if you don't take care of yourself, he said in the ad. And then told fam, had to grab something in garage only to get my secret tool cart mini fridge mimosas, grabbing them a moment. Cheers to parents everywhere, finding a moment of brightness. It's Tropicana juices. This is so sad. Twitter users disparaged the campaign, and we know that's important, calling it Mother's Little Helper bullshit, and alleged that Tropicana was normalizing addiction, while recovery groups criticized the campaign for positioning substance abuse as entertainment, and some felt the reaction was overblown. I gotta refresh so I could see. I want to see the actual moment. I wanted to see Mr. O'Connell. It's not going to work. Is that what we're dealing with? Here. See if we can open it up over here. Oh, this is their apology. Oh, brother. I can't believe. Anyway, all right. Oh, the graphics did come up. It was just farther down on the page. So I just, again, Trader Joe's did the right thing. They stood up against the woke mob and just said, you know what? If you can't take a joke, don't shop at Trader Joe's. Tropicana should have said the same thing. They said, you know what? It's just a joke. If you can't deal, just don't drink our juice. There, little mini. Oh, man, that's so cool. I want a little mini mimosa fridge. Tropicana should take them a moment to go fuck themselves. Suggesting parents hide from their families to drinks disgusting, irresponsible bullshit on a number of levels. Our families and yours deserve better. Oh, brother. Learn to take a joke, pussy. Here we go. Learn to take a joke, pussy. I should spell it with a V since they spelled fuck with a V. I'll spell pussy with a V. Where's the? Let's see. All right. Trader. Yes. Boom. All right. The initial survey findings done by Tropicana are absolutely valid. Parents need a break. While the direction they chose to take the campaign were unfortunate, the reality is parents are struggling. Emily Lynn Paulson, the founder of the online support group Sober Mom Squad, and the author of Highlight Reel, Finding Honesty and Recovery Beyond the Filtered Life. Just because you had a problem with alcohol doesn't mean other people can't make a joke about it. Whatever. Eat a dick, pussies. Learn to take a joke. There you go. That's all I got to say. All right. I guess that's it, my friends. Thanks for hanging out. I do appreciate it. I'll be back. You know what we do here. And we'll do it again. We'll be back tomorrow to make fun of more social justice warriors. Go ahead and hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you haven't already done so. Hit the little notification bell. Choose all. You'll know when I upload a new video, when I go live. And as always, if you want to support me, go to zachwaldman.com/fans. Other than that, I will see you soon. And as always, I will play you out with a little Reverend Carl. And of course, you know I mean it when I say it. I love you all more than chocolate cake. Thanks for watching, guys. See you soon.
It's 2 a.m., 14 below, it's closed. My work is done, but I'm feeling low, and I wanna play the night away, the night away. I can't stand to be alone. I gotta bring over some people to fill up my empty home. Yes, I do. Yes, I do now. I'm having a party, having a party, having a party. I'm having a party, people. And a party, people. Well, well, well. Put out the word to the chosen few. I got the SMC, my friends. Bring your choice of brews, your choice of brews. The buzz is on and the mood is set. The candles burn as the turntables turn by the TV set. Yes, they do. Yes, they do now. Having a party, having a party, having a party, having a party, people, and a party, people, and everybody's getting down now. Party people, having a party, having a party, having a party, people, a party, people. Well, well, the monster man is feeling smooth. While in the mirror he's busting moves till he finds his groove, till he finds his groove. A Johnny Poet is feeling numb. He's gonna drink until the sunlight comes out to play. He's always always running away. Where are your shoes today now? Having a party, having a party, having a party. We having a party, people. Party people. And everybody's getting down now. Party people, having a party, having a party. We having a party, people. And a party people. Having plenty of fun. He's been drinking them 21s like they're going out of style. A jungleberry is scabbing tails. He'll smoke all the weed you have if you let him away with it. I let him away with it. I let him away with it. Away with it. Away with it now. Having a party. Having a party. Having a party. We having a party. Dressed in plain, he'd like to bop the night away, cause he's come a long way from that Ventura County. Girly girl by the telephone, she's been waiting on a man to call so she can share her love, share her love.